Hey, it's it's time to do a reading. I've got an interesting, a bit gothic style tarot deck that I'm going to read from. It's what to learn from spirits in purgatory style reading, I think. Illustrated by Ann Stokes. Necronomicon Tarot, and it says Donald Tyson is the writer, editor, possibly, I don't know, writer. And let's see, let's learn from those spirits considered jinns, possibly, and or going through their own struggles and that are teaching their lessons to the others and don't even know it. Okay. Okay, so I've got a stack that fell like this up against them, and this one was upright. This one's 15, and then this one was laying down. I guess you would call it the one on the bottom of the deck if it were in the deck still, I guess. I don't know. But this one is 10, Judgment. So we have 15 to 10. I bit my lip right here on the other side. I don't know if that was a sign of some sort. But let's read on and find out what's going on. Here we go. Oh, okay. So they start by putting you in a little bit of a purgatory because they haven't numbered. They have the Roman numerals, but they're not there in the book. I have to find it by card name. Lord help me find this card. Oh, here we go. I was incorrect. It was in. I'm on the Justice. I was incorrect about them not having Roman numerals. It was in the front of the book. There were some other explanations of how to read them, I guess, in the back that didn't have them. So, the Devil. Cthulhu, Capricorn, represented by a octopus-headed water entity. The submerged island of Cthulhu, or Cthulhu, has raised above the surface of the southern ocean as it does at rare intervals, when the stars in their turnings come aright. The waves wash at the slime-covered, kelp-draped stone blocks of the city of Rillier, with a hyphen, no, apostrophe, R apostrophe Lyeh is the cities that this water's crashing upon. Newly ascended from their watery rest, chief among this city is an enormous obelisk of black stone, as tall as the modern skyscraper, or unnatural thickness and uncouth, uncouth, UNCOUTH. I have to look at that word. Geometry. It must be a description of intricate geometry or something. So that none of its angles are right angles, and it seems thicker at the slope top than at its base. Density at the top. Over lesser blocks lie scattered in the muck and ooze of the island. At first glance, disorder, but upon closer examination, the roofs of massive buildings. Near the base of the black obelisk is the bronze door in a portal, in a sloped face of stone gate, wide as thrown open by some massive force. Emerged from the darkness within stands mighty Cthulhu, or octopus entity, newly awakened from his sleep of dreaming death. The god has stepped forth from the doorway of thick legs that are as yet only partially formed, for the body of the god is not solid flesh, but composed of vapors are ethereal, that he gathers from the air and the sea around him, giving him a gelatinous appearance of blue and green. I like blue and green. This great clawed hand that reaches out is well shaped, as are his head, torso, and folded wings. He resembles the spawn held prisoner in the iron sphere. Mars, it's not in here written or anything, but on a more massive scale. The black obelisk is like a mountain, yet it fails to dwarf the body of great Cthulhu. Seabirds, no more than tiny dots, circling around his tentacled head with its 6 glaring eyes, so like the eyes of a spider in their inverted triangular patterns. Spirit wants me to say something about, or my thoughts went to, I'm hearing, Pegasus and Methuselah's eyes in Cthulhu. But in the rolling waves that wash over his striding legs, a freighter makes haste to steam away from the island, bearing the surviving members of its crew, unlucky enough to have walked on risen Rillier, the city. They do not dare to confront the creature of nightmare they have accidentally released by breaking the seal on the bronze door that held him captive in his tomb. Cthulhu makes his ponderous way toward the ship, which can scarcely hope to escape from being he crushing it in his grasp. And then in the deep blue of the early morning sky, the rising sun is a part of the unseen alignment of the heavens that allow the island of sunken Rillier to rise and Cthulhu to wake from his death-like sleep. Upright, defiance of authority, rebellion, animal vitality, brute strength, lustfulness, personal magnetism, dominance, reckless courage, willfulness, arrogance, pride. Inverted, it would be malice, resentment, betrayal, oath-breaking, anger, abuse of power, intimidation of others, bullying, deliberate cruelty, forbidden forms of sexuality, pleasure in wickedness. Okay, so that was the devil. And then, what did I do? I guess I pulled the wrong, here we go. Pulled the wrong page here for a second. Okay, Judgment, Guardian of Eden, fire. The fire warriors. A brook runs between deep banks through a grassy meadow. Of each side of the brook are low rolled hills, raising like the breasts of earth. On the crest of the low hill, on the left side of the stream, stands the naked skeleton of a great tree that had been dead for so long its wooden bones bare bark and show their weathered whiteness. On the crest of the opposite hill grows a flourishing tree covered with green leaves, the boughs of which hang heavy with red ripe fruit that resembles rounded pears. Spanning the brook is an arched stone bridge with low walls. Built into the middle of the bridge, there is an elaborate stone seat with a high carved back that faces in the same direction as the flow of the stream, so that anyone who sits upon the seat finds himself looking across the bridge toward the east. The back interior of the seat has a strange Medusa-like face carved into it. We were just talking about that. Carved into it that has only a single eye in the center of its forehead. The eye is represented by an unfaceted ruby. We were talking about ruby. The size of an egg that that glows red when struck by the morning sunlight. Above the brook, the blue sky of the day is rent or torn like a sheet, so that the stars of the night shine through the gap, which is just given passage to a terrifying angelic being that has the face and body of a beautiful woman. In her forehead, there is only a single enormous eye that has an uniform blackness over its surface. Her lips writhe away from her teeth in an expression of fury. Her hair radiates around her head in 1,000 translucent rainbow streamers that seem to float on the air the way seaweed floats on the currents of the ocean. From her body, 1,000 translucent arms extend like serpents, all spreading out in a halo around her that half fills the heavens. Droplets of fire rain from these innumerable appendages. They fall from the sky and ignite the grass of the meadows wherever they touch it. A naked man on the left side of the brook tries to ward off the rain of fire. The expression of this upturned face, a mingling of dismay and anguish. He reaches out toward a naked woman on the opposite bank who cowers to cover her nude body while shielding her head with her hands from the burning droplets of fire. Upright. Reward for honor. Favorable ruling. Acquittal. Proof of innocence. Just deserts. Impartial decision. Alleviation of rank or status. Restoration. Wrong-righted. Inverted. Punishment for dishonor. Wrath of higher power. Retribution. Reaping what was sowed. Eye for an eye. Finding of guilt. Harsh justice. Full penalty assessed. I'm going to have to watch this to understand completely the meaning, but it seems like there's a devil, and there were some chains broken in a card that I'd seen in the previous read. But this judgment fire rains down from these tentacles, and from the sky, which rained down. And our first card was water, so we have the devil in the water coming up at and then we have the stars breaking through the sky as a face comes down and rains like fireball raining reminds me of Don't Look Back or you'll be turned to salt, or Lot and his wife, or there must be more here in it. And I don't take away what you like on this. I don't know who it was for. It was general, but if you feel like it's resonating with your synchronicities, then call Jung that. And thank you for listening. If you made it this far, I do appreciate you, and I thank you for all that you do to assist me in my and accompany me in my journey through some of my readings and the shares that I have shared in my life to you. And I'm very grateful, even though I'm not at the status of someone, you know, virally and heavy subscription loaded. I appreciate everyone that even the trolls are nice, because at least you know somebody else saw it at this point. And when the riddle's over, it'll show why the work was done. So, but I only do things that make me happy, and getting to communicate with others. What I've learned makes me have appreciation for our networking that we have now with the phones that we do have. So, that's that apple. How you like them apples? All right. Bye-bye.